Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 11th of September. Starting off with the S&P, which remains ensconced within that rising trend channel there from back in April. Decent price action in terms of breaking sort of the higher highs and the high lows and breaking recent resistance around 65.10. Top of the channel there up to 6,700. We were looking for that by the end of next month, the way things are going. We could get that by the end of this month, especially given the way that we've had these three major RSI 50 plus rebounds, and we've also broken an RSI resistance line there at 62 out of 100, which is what we've been waiting for a few days. And in terms of the downside, the floor of the channel there around 63. 70 worst case on any rug pull expected to be 6200, basically post July support for this market. The Nasdaq 100 is next, and here we've got a picture where it's knocking on the door of 2400, which was a previous target. Now we've actually got the top of that channel from April as high as 24,800, which is what we're looking for by the end of this month. Best case by the end of next month, up towards 26,000, which is that late January resistance line projection. RSI at 60, so plenty of gas in the tank for potential move to the upside. In this case, we've got to break an RSI line, I suppose, almost at the same level, really 61, 62, and that could accelerate the upside if we get it over the course of this week or going into next week. Going into the stocks, and the first one is Cuprina. Here you can see that we've had a rather painful rug pull. What's interesting here, though, is that the resistance for the shares is near to, well, rather the support for the shares is near to current levels. So what we're looking for here is that the old resistance from the latter part of last month, around $1.40, will remain as support, and then we can then head back towards yesterday's resistance area as high as the $2.45 level. But the key here is holding $1.40 on an end of day close basis. Next on the list is Creative Global, and here we've got a more familiar pattern with the falling trend channel gapping up, bear trap gap reversal, and back above or back with the support back at around the old resistance from last month, around the 65 cents level. Above that, we're looking for a retest of the $1.15 area, which is the top of that falling trend channel from back in June. Interesting that we managed to close the RSI back above the neutral 50 level for the first time in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And the only thing missing at the moment really is the end of day close back above the 50-day line around 90 cents. We've looked at the following stock before, which is Classover. Here we've got another falling trend channel situation. In this case, slightly better than the previous one. Essentially closed above the 50-day line there around the $1.90 level. Above that, we're looking for the top of the falling trend channel there as high as $4 by the end of next month. Initial target there, the 200-day line, around $3.30, while we remain above that 50-day moving average. The other thing which is helpful, perhaps very helpful, is the way that we've had bounces at the oversold 30 level. So hopefully that will kick in to help this market or the stock. Moving along to Everbright, and here it's bear trap out in reversal. It's a horrible unfull gap to the unfull gap to the downside in July, and gapping up now. Once again, we're looking to see where recent support and resistance have come in. The old resistance around the 62 cents area. Above that, we're looking for a retest of the 50-day line, $1.42, as we did yesterday in yesterday's session, and hoping for that by over the next couple of weeks at least. EPWK is next, and here pretty dynamic situation in the sense that we've had a bear trap rebound from below the old support there at 41 cents. Above that, looking for the top of the triangle as high as 70 cents over the next few sessions. The 50-day line also now rising, which is normally a good sign near the lows, and we've also had the RSI break above 50, so looking for at least 70 cents on that in terms of the upside. On the opposite sense, the other opposite end of the scale, rather, we've got Oracle, and if I can type out the right code and the right stock, you'll see that the shares are proving that elephants can gallop, and that made Larry Ellison the richest man in the world We got a rising trend channel there from September last year, heading for $420, and we're looking with that at least while we're above the $300 area over the near term. So expecting perhaps a slight break of yesterday's support, but not by much ahead of a continuation of the massive move to the upside. Stock which we've championed and loved in the recent past has been Pitanium. Pitanium. Here we've had the main target here was around $4.40, which was the 200-day line. Second, more ambitious one was around $7 above that. We're looking for the a full retracement of the post-July retreat for the share, so back to $14 by the end of next month, while we're above $7 on Pitanium. A stock which may also be able to revive itself in the near term is coming up next, and it's coming up in the form of the reAlpha. Here you can see that we've got a falling trend channel, but we managed to break above recent resistance there around the 45 cents level. Looking for a retest, obviously, of July resistance towards a dollar, best case up to the top of the channel there. Falling trend channel at $1.20 by the end of this month. On to the last two. The first one is coming up in the form of Springview, and here we've had the shares tickle the top of that falling trend channel there at 81 cents. Looking for a retest of that while we remain on the right side of 60 cents, recent broken resistance on an end of day close basis. Bear trap gap reversal, so therefore we're looking for a more attempts at delivering upside there. Finishing off with Skyline, which I've looked at quite recently. Here we managed to exceed our falling trend channel target and the 50-day line there at $1.70. Above that, looking for the top of a broadening triangle as high as $3.90 by the end of this month. So punchy target there, but it looks as though it's a punchy situation. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.